Hello there guys, and welcome to our week 2 of the MBA Kanto division battle against RoaringMage, coach of the Murfreesboro Milotics. I just want to say thank you all for the support on the first video. It means a lot to me. I spend a lot of time on these videos, and it definitely means a lot that you guys are enjoying. Whether or not you leave a comment in the description, or you gave me a DM giving me some feedback, I really appreciate it, because the only way I can improve is with your guys' feedback. And if you guys do enjoy the video, please leave a like on the video below. Now, today, it's a bit of a mismatch when it comes to experience and a bit of team building as well. I take on RoaringMage, who is one of the OG vets in the MBA community and one of the icons of the MBA community. Roaring isn't really that much of a public figure, but within the MBA, he's known as a calm and collected individual. He reminds me a lot of those older poker players. Even though you think, oh gosh, they should be the retirement home, they're way too old. That's where Burb should be as well. Put me back in the home, please, good sirs. It's scary on the outside world. He is still someone that I know he's still someone who I think even on his off day will give anyone a run for their money, because we'll never see through his poker face. If you guys did miss the team builder yesterday, it is a Mega Morwell with SD 3 attacks. It does have the wrong ability. It's meant to be Intimidate. However, it is actually Hypercutter. Next up, we have Agility 3 attacks Thunderous Therian form, in which the third move of Dark Pulse is absolutely redundant, because if we were Sludge Wave, it would 6-0 from preview. Next up, we have our Fizz Def Credilli. Credilli was one of the MVPs last week. Let's hope for a repeat performance. Next up, we have Wish Protect Toxic Seismic Toss Blissey. Then we have a very offensive Rapid Spinner and Coldberry Starmie, and also we have Scarf Dog Trio, which is a very standard set. At team preview, his hazard removal options are very limited, as I don't really want to forego another move to run that defog. In particular, the Tapu Koko and the Mega B, in which I think Tapu Koko can often just run Taunt against my team pretty freely, unless it's in against the Dug Trio. Unless the Tapu Koko is in against the Dug Trio, it is really a no drawback play. The other thing I noticed and I'm very happy about is there is no Latias from team preview. As I mentioned in the team builder, my team didn't really have a good way to handle that Latias. When it came to my lead option, I sort of had a big choice to make. The offensive pivots of Roaring's team being both the Mega B and the Tapu Koko, I knew he would lead with one or the other. In which this generation, because Mega B doesn't have to protect turn 1 to get up its Mega speed, it can honestly just freely U-turn on anything on my team, in which I thought Tapu Koko would be the more likely bring. So in case it was like Shed Shell Tapu Koko, I didn't want to have to leave the Doggy and then lose Doggy very early, because it's going to be quite obvious that it's actually a pseudo win con. I do lead with the Credilli, as he does lead with the Mega B, and I think, well, actually, he leads with the Mega B, in which my first thought process is that rocks are free here this turn, because I don't see why he would turn 1 SD up. And he does click the U-turn and goes down into the Tapu Koko, and I'm like, sweet, this is fine by me. This next turn I can freely click Rock Slide or Recover, try and predict the Milk Tank want to come in. I do click Rock Slide as he just goes to the U-turn, takes a little bit of chip, and that chip is very vital because that means that Tapu Koko is slowly not becoming a Thunderous answer. Now, as he brings in this Milk Tank, I decide that my best course of action is to go hard into my Thunderous Therian and just proc the turn 1 Z move. There is no reason for me not to do this, as once Tapu Koko goes down, it's only Mega Beedrill which outspeeds my Thunderous naturally. Also, the Hawlucha, but based upon his team construct, I don't think it is going to outspeed. Now, he does admit that he is the wrong item this turn. It was meant to be the Guardian of Alola, but he does click the Dazzling Z Nature's Madness, and I just kill it off with a Thunderbolt. He did say the wrong Z-Stone, and that I can definitely see how that sort of matters, but I don't think it really did in the long run. It goes in with the Mega B, goes for the Poison Jab, as I switch into my Mega Morwell, because it is my Fizz Def answer on my team. Now, this turn I do go for the Sucker Punch, in which is sort of like a boneheaded play, but I realised that once I got rid of that Mega B, as I mentioned earlier, Thunderous could potentially finish off the game. Now, because my Mega Morwell is very healthy, and I can live any real Scald, I just want to go for the Thunder Punch this turn, and do a lot of damage to this Vaporeon, which I do chunk it. And then this next turn, I want to go out into my Blissey, because it's sort of my safest play. And I think that the Vaporeon clicks Wish, that's fine by me, because I'm going to click Seismic Toss this turn just to get Vaporeon as low as possible. He just chooses to go for the Toxic. I don't really understand that play or what he was predicting. I think he was better off for him to try to go hard out into like Holucha, and then it would have definitely been an issue for my team. But then again, I could have just wished past back into the Mega Mawile. So we both do go for a wish here, and now I decided, well look, if he tries to go into Holucha, which he should, because Vaporeon is now healthy, I'm going to go out into my Mawile, as he does reveal the Roar. Now this Roar puts me back a lot, because the one mon he puts me into is my Starmie. If he roared me out into Thundurus Therian, that could have potentially been in game. Now he does go into the Holucha here, which I think is very questionable, as I just drop it with the Psyshock. I don't know what he really was predicting. He could have been like Waconberry or something, I don't know. He now goes out into the Mega Beedrill, and I want to preserve my Starmie, so I go back out into my Mega Mawile. He just clicks the knockoff. Now, that play is very interesting, because if I stayed in and Psyshocked, he would have lost his Mega B. I do just go for this turn a player off, and I do connect this player off with the Milk Tank. The next turn, I go for another player off, in which I miss. Now this miss is very vital to the game itself, because now it's all mind games, which I really hate. I really wish I could have clicked player off and then clicked Sucker Punch, and that could have nearly been game. But Roaring, I do predict, so I'm like, alright, this turn I'm gonna SD up, as he just clicks the Body Slam again. And now I'm like, alright, I'm gonna Sucker Punch this turn, and then next turn I'm gonna predict the Milk Drink, and I'm actually gonna play rough and actually kill off this Milk Tank. However, what Roaring does is a sort of a more interesting play, and just kills off my Mega Mawile, and he allows his Milk Tank to be low, which is very crucial for me, because now I just go into the Thundurus Therian and Agility up, because I don't want Mega B to essentially get a free kill with a U-turn or Poison Jab. So I Agility up, his Milk Tank goes for Body Slam, and now I can just freely T-Bolt, and as I know, it forces in the Vaporeon next, and I can get a free T-Bolt off on it, and the damage I do to this is now putting the game nearly beyond reasonable doubt, in which the combination of Dugtrio and Blissey can finish off the game. Now, he does choose to Scold here, and finish off my Thundurus, which is very nice. This is where him not having Protect definitely sucks, because if he did have Protect, he could have been able to Wish that turn, and still let my Thundurus. And now I do the Seismic Toss, because I want to keep up this offensive pressure. I do Seismic Toss again here, because if he goes into Mega B, it will die after Rocks, but he does choose to go into the Barbaracle. Now, the next turn I choose to Seismic Toss again, because I believe that this Barbaracle is most likely Sash, rather than being like a Z Crystal, or he's already revealed Tapu Koko to be the Z holder this game, or like a White Herb set. So he does reveal that he isn't White Herb, and I now know that I'm going to go for Toxic here, and I want to sort of explain this sort of scenario, but the reason I Toxic here is that his best play is to constantly go for Shell Smashes in front of my Blissey to get to like +6, because once he gets to that speed set, I can't beat the Barbaracle, in which what I would have to do is, after this Toxic, I would then have to spam Seismic Toss until I die with my Blissey, because if he Shell Smashed that turn, I get the Toxic off, and then I go, okay, well, how do I sort of lost then, but I could sort of play around it to a degree, and the way I would have to play around it is that it then becomes more mind games. But what I was more thinking of is, well, he could fear anything, and I want to freely go for the Toxic here, because he still has to hit a Stone Edge on my Starmie, unless he's like Exazor. Now, the next sort of sequence of plays is, I know that now I just spam Seismic Toss with my Blissey until it dies, because then what I can do is I can either go into my Dugtrio, then sack the Starmie, and if Starmie lives a liquidation from whatever percentage this Barbaracle is at, like attack-wise, I then sort of clean up the game with Doggy, which is ultimately my plan. Now, because he doesn't like Shell Smash again here, I can now freely go into my Dugtrio and finish off the game with the... I can go into Dugtrio and finish off the game with the Earthquake, which is what my intention was to do, because the way in which he allows his team to get weakened means that Dugtrio now freely comes in and cleans up the rest of the game. Barbaracle was definitely a threat, but I definitely think when you play these very offensive-oriented teams, you have to limit and shut down their Volt Turn core options. I shut down that Volt Turn core option very early on, in which momentum became very hard for him to maintain. The New South Wailmers do start the season off 2-0, plus 5 differential, I'm glad to say that the win has been secured, because I do like a little bit of early season momentum. I think that when it came to this game, I think the MVP of this game was probably arguably the Blissey, because Blissey helps me to not lose to Vaporeon, because everyone knows Burb has a crippling fear of Vaporeon, but I think as well, the way in which he sacked his Lucha was very questionable. Now, next week we do take on Slec of the Indianapolis Keldeos, who is currently 0-2, -7 I think, in which we will be looking to hopefully not underestimate our opponent, but definitely try to pick up another victory. We can start the season off 3-0. Now, in terms of when it comes to kills and who is our kill leader at the moment, Mega Morwell has 4, I think. Actually, no, I can just... When it... When it comes to who is the kill leader at the moment in my team, we have 3 kill leaders, all with 3 kills. Now, one of them is actually outright, because it's 3-0, being Infernape. Mega Morwell is 3-2, and our Exotic Trio is 3-1. Now, this is sort of interesting, because none of my Pokemon are really high up in the MVP race at the moment, because, as I just said, my mons have 3 kills. But it's definitely important to look at how each mon is performing each week. Shout out to the people who made graphics that are involved in this video. First and foremost, Bill Standish is the GOAT when it comes to Draft League logos. He did my New South Wailmers one, which I'm still very, very impressed with. It doesn't look like he did it that long ago. It's nearly a year now, so I definitely got my money's worth. Even, if I uploaded just MBA alone, it's what, $1 a video, and it absolutely looks amazing. The second person I want to thank is High Velocity Boy, who did the sidebar and also did all the logos. It absolutely looks amazing, man. It's really helped me find a passion again for draft format, because I just look at it and go, wow, how is this possible? It's like what Flips' reaction would have been to Credilli last week. Thirdly, I want to give a massive thank you to the members of my FO, first and foremost being Leo, aka 6-Foot Hacks, who recommended the Credilli set. And I want to give a massive thank you to Khaz, as always, because he especially made sure that I did the right crate with Doggy, so I made sure I won that game. That was very important. Thank you again, kind sir. Fourthly, I want to give a massive shout out to the people that try to help me improve my videos, in particular, Daniki and Aaron2420. Next week, you know the times, Thursday, 9 AM EST is when I like to try to have my team builder up, and Friday, 5 PM EST is when the battles will go up. Make sure that you follow the MBA socials to see what's going on. Also, as well, the games of the week are streamed on twitch.tv/MBA_draft_league, in which the link can be found in the description, to make sure that you can keep on top of all the MBA uploads. But until next time, guys, peace.